Hello, everyone. I'm Christina, and I know I'm just sporadically getting on here, but little by little, I'm feeling a little bit better because taking care of myself. I want to welcome everyone that's about to come on, and anyone who comes in the future to please hit like, subscribe, share the videos where you can. Always love it when you guys join in that chat. Today we have Biden just came into Houston today, took a look around, you know, and I think it's really interesting that not just that he arrived here in Houston, but also all of the things that are going on around him, while at the same time going on, there's so many things going on around Texas, right? So I thought I'd take kind of a dive into that, right? Y'all ready? Let's do this. Okay. So, the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about is, I mean, we're all aware that, all of Texas is having water pipe issues, myself included, also had some all around my neighborhood. There are testimonies just everywhere, right? All across Texas. And it turns out that somehow not all 254 counties were declared disaster areas, which is mind boggling. I'm hoping that they correct that. But to make everything a little more complicated, Texas is getting this thunderstorm weather on the way too, which is going to hamper the already wait time that we're going to have for a lot of these repairs, because I've taken a look at the lake for a week straight. We're supposed to get rain. No sunny skies around here. So yeah, of course, that's going to cause delays for people that are already still suffering from all of these water issues, right? Okay. So, but it turns out, of course, Texas is definitely not the only one suffering from all these power outages. There were other states that had too. Just turned out that Texas, like the biggest scream that just kind of rang around the United States, it was a lot of people. But, we have to remember that our neighbors are also having issues too. So we got to keep them in our prayers, right? Hello, Jeremiah Barrios. Love you too. Hey, hello. Okay, good. All right. We got one thumbs up, working it so far. All right. I know it's like really an odd time to come in, right? And I'm hoping it doesn't really buffer, because we do have like thunderstorm clouds coming on, right? All right. So, used to, when Trump came into the Houston area, we had a lot of people that couldn't really wait to meet him, but waiting for Biden was actually protesters that had gathered. And while he's here back in DC, they're making moves to take away his sole right to nuclear weapons. So if they can do that to this president, which it probably is like stealing candy from a baby, then what does that mean for future presidents that are completely competent, right? Just seems like a slick move. But okay, but he's here in Houston, that's great. But at the same time, there's a lot of things going on in his house that seem to be really unsettling, right? Hello, Billy Joe Schmo. It's in the 70s there now, though, right? Yeah, yeah. It was like 75 today, as far as I could tell. It's even kind of a little muggy, because yeah, that water moisture is in the air. Okay, we had all that snow, and we've got these rain clouds all over the place. We even had fog down to Galveston today. So there's a lot of moisture in the air. So it's not just 75-ish, it's muggy, If I had a senile elder person living with me, I would lock up all my guns too. You can't even let them take their prescription pills on their own, because they forget they've taken them, and they take them all over again, or they just don't take them at all. Yeah, yeah, I know. I've been there. I've been there with my silver years, golden years, grandparents. Yep. Okay. So back to topic. Okay. Um so Biden, he's got these people sneaking in the back door. They're already kind of starting to really talk about his ability to really make decisions. And even when he was in Houston, he made a comment while he was reading through just certain people to think it was like, oh wait, I got to get back to my list or I'll lose track, which I mean could really happen to anybody, but again, it's kind of a common theme with him, so but what was noticeable to me is that even though this was really about Texas winter storm, the relief effort, disaster areas, getting water, how the system is going, he could not help but just talk about the job. Not just talk about it, but like just go off about it. Just la 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 la. You know, about how many he's going to get out there, what they plan to do, and what their um issues were with getting the chemicals they needed to make the vaccine, to the different ingredients. I mean, so it's like all he's really centered on, no matter what's going on, is the coof jab, which is kind of strange, by itself. Anyway, but yeah, he had a lot to say about that. And it turns out that even during this entire disaster, they've had plenty of people just lining up still for it, get their jab. But, just for fun, in order for them to go around these places in Houston, the main highway through everything really, I would say, is I-10. They had a lot of shut downs on that highway between noon and 4:30 this afternoon, so they could visit the Houston Food Bank, Harris County Emergency Operations Center, and then NRG Stadium, right? Which a lot of you are already aware of that anyway. But at the same time, we've got residents in Plano using pool water to flush toilets, and I just been talking about that a video or two ago. When we'd gone through Alicia, and that the neighborhood had to use the water in our pool. So that was just really interesting that it's like history's repeating itself. All right, we did see that a lot of people are having problems still in Houston, but particularly we were having issues with Humane Society where the animals are, and they're in need of water. Okay, and on top of everything, a fire broke out in Richmond recycling facility. And then last night we had 6 fires overnight just in North Texas. And in the face of all of this, we're looking at massive crop losses across Texas. Okay, I haven't really heard anything much out of the other states as far as crop losses, but when it comes to Texas, it's massive. And we know, we've already been learning ahead of time that it's going to be really bad. We're going to see it very soon. And I mean, I already do. I go shopping once or twice a week for a few minutes, and I can see what's happening to our stores. It's not pretty. Okay, it's really not. There's it was like last time I went, it was like limit 1 ground beef. You can't just get what you want anymore. No mask can't enter any store, any public places. Yeah, it is funny. I was going into the Walmart front door, and this woman was handing out masks. She's like, they don't work anyway. And I'm like, I like her. I like her. Right? Is it okay? Is it mandatory to wear a mask down there in Jersey? We can't go. Okay. It depends on what place we go to. Like the bigger the place, yeah, they want us to have the mask on, but they recognize there are medical issues, which you still get the death stare for not wearing your mask if you're having medical issues, and the shake of the head, which makes you feel prompted to really put just like one of those stickers on your chest that used to say, hey, my name is, but that, hey, this is my medical issue, so you don't get those death stares. But in other places that are smaller, that have like a smaller clientele that's more close knit, you don't see so much of that, where there's not really a lot of traffic anyway. Not necessarily around here. We live in the woods though, not necessarily a concrete jungle like some might think I do. Oh, it's pretty country out here, so around here there's a little bit of break, but we don't have the numbers that our surrounding areas do either necessarily. Okay, what else is going on around here? I'm gonna make this a short live stream tonight, y'all, because I'm still trying to recuperate from whatever is bothering me, because a lot of people might want to jump and say it's the coof, but I know it's not. I'm just a fragile person when it comes to my health. I have been for a long time. So any one of my illnesses that I already have can flare up and start making me tired. That's just how it is, but it's okay. I'm a pro at this. All right, so we're looking at, oh yeah, it wasn't just the crop losses either, but they had a news report out today about the botanical gardens, how they lost so much. But they're saying, hey, cut off the brown mush. It's probably okay. So a lot of these plants can probably still come back, right? Yeah, Biden in our city. I don't know when he left though. I know he was supposed to be here till like 4:30 for sure. But again, really, he didn't really say a whole lot at first, and then he went and he did this one big speech, but like 20, 30 minutes into it, all I'd heard about was coof jab. I just really kind of lost interest after. I'm like, why are we talking about that right now? Why that? And then at the same time, we've got this whole stimulus package that they keep talking about. And it's funny because I actually got a notice that I was supposed to get an amount deposited, right? But they haven't even really passed it yet. And it's not for no $1,400. That's for sure. It's just weird. I mean, it's not like I've gotten it, but they're getting ready for that. And then most people are wondering, why is it we're spending all these trillions of dollars when the trillions of dollars aren't really going towards American relief? I mean, it's like a 9% of it is going, 9% of all these trillions are going to the people and to the businesses that might need it. The rest of it is superfluous things that have nothing to do with what this bill is titled under, right? And what was it? Minimum wage they put in there, which is totally actually killing jobs, if they try to raise that. And yes, that's right, official nature boy. He did. That's another issue, is like, this is about Biden buying Texas. Like, he came down here, but at the same time, it's like between Biden and Texas, like, right? He decides that he's going to bomb Syria. And then there are people like, what? That's going to really irritate Russia. But then you see this news article come out that says, "Oh, it's okay because Iran said it's okay. We could do. We have the backing of Iran." I'm like, Iran is this big, Russia is this big. You know, why are we? Well, I'm gonna have to look more into that. But it just has that what kind of feel? Why? He's just his first act of war, as far as I know, right? And histamines because the smell of rotting vegetation, right? And we're also looking to, really check our windows where a lot of the ice and condensation was, see if there's any mold. But yeah, I actually made a turmeric tea, green tea, turmeric, fresh ginger, lemon juice, local honey, and made me feel a lot better. Oh, and a little dash of red cayenne pepper. This little home medicinal potion, it started making me feel a lot better, you know. Um, False prophet hunter, antihistamines are a really good tip. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt. I mean, besides, what is it? Spring's coming up anyway. And the way the Texas weather is, it's like 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold, 1 minute it's hot, and then it's muggy, and then it's like, why wouldn't that affect your face in some way, right? One president pulled troops out of Syria, another puts them in, which is better. I don't know, but I will tell you that there just tends to be a pattern in history where they thrive on war. There's always some kind of war. There's always some kind of, because I heard they make money off of it. I don't know what this is about. I don't really understand. Yep, ginger root. That's exactly what I had. That's right. So we've got all this going on. Okay, we've got a lot going on in Texas. We've got a lot going on with Biden, and you know he's got to be careful or he'll lose track of what he's thinking about. And if I'm not mistaken, they're starting to, even the Democrats are starting to talk about his ability to have certain controls, and like they're hiding this, from us, but they know. But I mean, why else would they want to take away his sole right? But I think there would be also a sinister reason. It's like, if they can get their hands on one president's ability, then why wouldn't they be able to? Because now there would be a precedent set for it, right? That you let that devil put his foot in that door, he will slam it open. Okay. AK the military industrial complex. Uh, Defense contract time also. Yeah, time has its own benefits too. Yes, absolutely. And the honey I got was actually from a ranch in the neighborhood right behind mine. So you can't get any more local than that. Got to get that oil, right? Right. It's all about money because there were better ways for us to use energy that was better a long, long time ago. Those people all got snuffed out a long time ago because it was all about money. It always was. All right. Even with Tesla, it was like one company was bigger, didn't need that competition. And then later on, they just took what Tesla had, all his information, and used it in nine kinds of ways. The what's good for us isn't necessarily what they think is good for them, and their desires are going to win out always. Being 7 countries in 5 years. Iran was last year. He was on the list. He said, when you have a hammer military, even every country is a nail. Ooh, that's powerful. I'll have to look that up. I've never, ever heard that name before, but now I'm going to check it out. I sure enough will. Now let's see what's on this short list of things to talk about tonight. Oh yes. All right. So they had these hearings, these things going on with ERCOT, right? And everybody's doing the finger point. Well, I think it's this person's fault. No, it's the system's fault. And people didn't take me seriously. And it's the wind turbines, that weren't winterized. And, even Biden, I'm telling you, there's been talk about him too, how he had actually passed on that like 4 months ago ish, or maybe a year. I don't know. Knew it was coming, probably 4 months. I don't know. So everybody's pointing the fingers, right? And then here we go. At the same time, these people are still getting indicted for the Capitol riots. What do they call it? Insurrection. So we've actually got a lot going on, don't we? A lot. If you blink, you're going to miss something. All right. Okay. And so who are they pointing fingers at? One of them is the Texas Railroad Commission. Okay. And they started getting so mad. The Railroad Commission, they were like just mad that they'd even had anything. They've been accused. They're like, oh, no, 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 no. Oh yeah, Biden is okay. What you're saying, official? Listen, what I'm hearing a lot is Biden's remorse. People have Biden's remorse. Now, again, I follow God, follow Jesus, and I know that man is fallible. So I'm not gonna just hate on one person or another. But I mean, logically, how could you elect somebody that doesn't have their full faculties? A lot can get in, a lot of bad things can happen that way. And so I can see that being maybe a legacy. We need to keep eyes on the Senate. I think you're right about that, Monica. Absolutely. It was a Capitol building tour. They let them in and they stayed. Yeah, they were even saying that the FBI is coming under fire in some way because of their involvement somehow, or lack of security or whatever. And there were kind of people like cops, they let them in, but they just felt like there was just too many people. What could they do? Really. But when you look at the people that were there, they were actually really responsible people. Most of them, like, business owners, leaders of organizations, nurses, actually decent, what we would usually call decent people. So, I mean, was it really an insurrection, or was it more like a Boston Tea Party? Capitol building tour gone wrong. It was a setup. I think a lot of people would agree with you on that, official nature boy. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So Biden bombed Syria. All this going on. But in the middle of all this craziness, something amazing does happen. All right. New England veterans are prompted by what I would call a street saint, prompted to send truckloads of food to Freeport, Texas. Just a whole bunch of people in New England area, from Jersey, Maine, whatever, all of them in that area. Thank you. And God bless y'all for that. Send all that help. You just always think in the middle of what you can consider a personal hell, that God is always sending angels. He's always providing. He's always giving that peace in the middle of the storm, just to get us going one more step, one more step. And I just wanted to at least show that to y'all, that even no matter how dark things look, there's still miracles that are happening all around us. And we always have to be watchful that God is always on his throne. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, yeah. Stimulus checks. We're going to keep hearing about that for another minute and a half. I think we're going to get some soon, and I'm not trying to like talk anything crazy, but it doesn't look like it's going to be no $1,400. Let me just say that. If from what I'm seeing, it's not the rest of the 2,000 no. Okay. And I just want to kind of kick in this one thought that it's kind of hard to spend money when there's nothing to buy. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard to go to the doctor now too, because you could get the coof there, or they want to give you the jab, and just if you have any problem. I mean, it's like I could have a kidney infection right now. I don't know. And they're going to want to give me some crazy nonsense in my body. I'm more afraid to go to the doctor. So we've got to, I don't know. I figure I'd try that turmeric, honestly, to start making me feel better. I'm still working that vitamin C and the vitamin D, I'm trying to make sure that I have soups, homemade soups with a stew, tomato broth and bouillon and, good stuff. Spinach, leaves, all in there, good stuff. All right. Fresh tomatoes. We're going to have to try to start thinking about taking care of ourselves better, because I think that if anything, that this whole Texas winter storm showed that for everybody that's been telling everybody to prep, there were millions and millions of Texans that weren't really ready for this. A lot of them did not have food, and then the temperatures did warm up, even if they did. So the amount of time their fridge was out, there's no way that they could have kept that food very good for very long. But that's where prepping kind of comes in. And with the way that things are in this world, how much it's changing and the ways that it's changing, it's just best that we start learning to flow with the waves, not against them. You know what I'm saying? Fresh chicken soup, right? Right. Mine was more of like a minestrone, kind of thing. Good thing we prepped and stayed warm like a squirrel with nuts in a tree. There you go. That's what you do, because it's funny. We're used to just, unless it's a hurricane, we are just used to like 2 or 3 days. Something will go wrong with a hurricane or a tornado. It can last a few weeks, but we've never had anything like this. This was totally different. We don't come out with busted pipes by the hundreds of thousands usually. Yep. Yep. Texans. Yeah. And that's the thing, when it comes to the days that we're in, that's why I've been urging people for years, get out the city and get off the coast. Because I'm telling you, woe to those in the cities. I'm telling you, get out, get out, get out, get out. There's nothing but darkness I see for the cities in America's future. I'm not kidding. Get out while you can. Get off the coast too while you're at it. Too heavy minestrone if you're not feeling well. My appetite's amazing. I can taste everything. I've got amazing appetite. It's just I'm taking it lightly. Like nothing heavy like meatloaf. I can handle the tomato broth. I was getting all the vitamins out of it. Hello, Ray J, Monica, False Prophet, all y'all. I'm always so glad to see everybody here. Wine vinegar every night and it changed their life. I'll have to check that out. See, there are home remedies. We have time. Have I been on long? It says I've been on for 24 minutes and 7 seconds. No, I stay more on the north side, the northern area of the Houston metro area, but not, not in the, what's it called? More highway prone area per se. I'm a country girl. I've always been a country girl. Woman in the woods. So many power plant explosions all over the world before that, refineries. Did y'all notice that Brazil had this huge flood? I'm telling you, Water is going to be a problem, at least, I mean, where you have a lot of water, there's going to be a lot of mold and mosquitoes transferring blood from person to person. Okay, so you might want to think about growing some basil and some marigold flowers. I'm telling you, and be sure to, if you see standing water in a bowl, anything out in your yard, any kind of buckets, pour that water out. Okay, be very, take a walk around your yard and get rid of that standing water before it's too late, and do it every time it rains. Cities are the kiss of death. I'd love to be in the country. I did see Brazil. Yep. And I was looking at that and I said, that's usually kind of Houston, what we're getting, but I mean, we're going to get our fair share too. All right, y'all. I think that, besides the fact that they're telling us that we got a potential of 86 deaths, some of them are unconfirmed from this winter storm, I think that's actually a pretty startlingly low number considering how bad things really got around here, and that just really speaks to the strength of the people in our state, but that was really just unbelievable. Still, the thought of that we lost almost 100 people, because our grid wasn't right and all they can do is just point fingers. We want all the names. we want to know every inch and corner of what happened so that this doesn't happen again, at least not because of freezing temperatures. There should definitely be some winterizing measures taken. What I don't agree with is that they put this on our backs tax-wise. I think you already got enough money. You should have done it already. Work with the money you got already, and don't let us have to cost one more penny, because most of us don't have jobs. A lot of us don't. Okay. We're going to food banks. Food banks are going dry. I think that you need to be starting to get a little resourceful here, like the rest of us do. Okay. You get paid pretty well. Make it happen. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah. Everything is just falling, falling, falling. You just take a look around. It's like dominoes falling, falling, falling. And at some point, there's going to be a complete break where you won't see cars on the road anymore. You'll see checkpoints where you're going to see clothes that haven't been changed for days. You're going to see all the shops permanently closed down. That's where we're going to end up heading. Okay. So don't waste any time figuring out how to survive. I think it's a fabulous idea to distill all the plastic lying around into diesel. That's genius. It's genius. And it helps with the environment. It's everywhere. Do it. eBay has 1,200 watt wind generator for 150 tax. See, there you go. And what about that boy who irrigated a farm field with a fan motor? I mean, come on. We can do it, y'all. We can do it. And there's no time to waste. All right. Okay, you guys. I am going to jet for the night, and I want to thank you all for your thumbs up. Love it all when you come to visit. Love the chat, and I promise that I will see you soon. God bless y'all. Bye. Oh, wait. I almost forgot this isn't the touch screen. Bye, y'all.